What's up, everybody? It's your boy Galaxy Greg, and welcome to episode 118 of the Be More Nerdy podcast. The only podcast that's giving it to you how you want it, how you need it, and remotely when you would like it. So, that being said, I'm your host, Galaxy Greg, aka Mr. Space Waves, aka the OG Galaxy, aka the Hentai Honcho, and with me today is my co-host, Diva XOXO.
What it is, little dummies, it's your girl, Diva XOXO, aka the Sophisticated, aka the official, unofficial Disney princess, aka the HNIC, the head nerd in charge. What was that AKA I came up with over the weekend? It was hilarious. Do you remember?
Nope.
John Cena.
Nah, you would come in my Twitch chat and just spam that, and it scare me when I'm doing shit. Oh my lord!
Best. It was the best.
That being said, my
Whoa.
other co-host here today with us, Mr. HD No TV.
AKA not John Cena, AKA the anime aficionado, not Do, because Do Re Mi Fasto, whatever. And honestly, we got to pick up the worldwide title again, because we've been traveling.
This nigga. Every time
This
he say I'm
nigga.
about to say in the house, he's not in the house.
He was like, I'm antisocial. I don't go nowhere.
Most social I seen in. I'm gonna let him talk about his fucking week. So
Mm-hmm.
that being said, this week's topic is our recommendations for horror TV shows. Staying in the recommendation of spooky season, because that's what it is right now. We're going to be having any shows that we recommend that fit the horror genre. Jesus Christ, that fit the horror genre, right? I don't have many. I don't watch too many horror TV shows. I watch plenty of horror movies. So the ones I have are still going to be relatively comical, but still horror and probably sci-fi. So just giving you guys a heads up.
You've seen more than you think, because
I
two of them I
have
put on
as
here.
well.
I put two on here just for your nostalgia. They are my honorable mentions, but they're for you. Like, you will know when I say them, you will know they were for you.
Fair enough. I'm going to be excited to hear those. With that being said, I think Diva's the most horror established person here. I say you go for it, Diva. You should start.
I actually won't start because I've been listening back to the podcasts. For the last 3 podcasts, I've started. It's crazy.
Is it wrong
I've
that I want to
noticed.
be a gentleman and let the lady start?
Yeah, because that's not your character.
It's out of character.
Maybe I'm trying to be out of character this season. You ever think of that?
For the fall or the winter?
From my fall. Off.
See, he doesn't even know what season it is.
Oh, so you're falling?
Is fall
Being
off?
nice to women is a fall for you?
Absolutely. Because we don't let women finish here.
Phrasing?
All right, that being said, let's get right into it. You want to start or you want me to start?
No, it's fine because I gotta knock this out before one of you do. And if you're looking for a good horror show that's kind of terrifying, easily accessible, The Haunting of Hill House or Bly Manor. I haven't seen Bly Manor, but Hill House, that's a good one.
So good on Netflix. That's a good one. I didn't even write that down. I've seen it. Great recommendation. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really want to watch Bly Manor. It's been on my to-do list since it came out because Hill House was really good.
Yeah.
Definitely something to watch in the dark for Halloween. Recommend.
Okay. I haven't seen either of those, so I'll definitely add it to my watch list because I've been looking for things to watch now. Because I've noticed, when I'm sitting down and eating or chilling, Family Guy or American Dad are my go-to, but, I'm trying to clear out my watch list. And I've noticed that my watch list, I've slowly cleared it out. And now I'm hitting that point where it's I need more things to watch, so, yeah.
Mine only gets larger. It's like, you know how Garo fought One Punch Man and he kept getting stronger, but it's like One Punch Man. Yeah, that's how my watch list is One Punch Man. No matter how many shows I watch, it just exponentially grows and I never finish it.
Because he was like,
Never
I'm
catch
growing.
you.
I know I'm stronger than him when we were back over here. I know this. And then he's like,
no.
it's not that I'm weaker. It's just that he's growing faster than I am.
Yeah.
You know how terrifying of realization that has to be? I'm him and I'm becoming more of him. But that nigga,
He's the Himothy.
he's Himothy. Oh man. All right. So my first recommendation is going to be something that I talked about. That's a movie, but also is a TV series. Ash versus the Evil Dead. It's a really good show. It's very comical, but it has a lot of serious moments. It's got a lot of, if you like are into the occult, they have a book called the Necronomicon. Must I say more than that? Like, it's about Ash. He's now I think in his late 50s, early 60s, and he's trying to get away from the slaying of evil. He's like just trying to live a normal life in his crooked up, run down town, but evil finds him, and it's time to get to work again. And it's about him and his crew just going around trying to get rid of the evil that comes from the Necronomicon. It's got 4 seasons. The ending was pretty cool. I enjoyed it a lot. Like, I even went back and watched it because I was like, I feel like I missed one of the seasons, so I went back and watched it. It was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. If you're a fan of like comical horror, but like horror nonetheless, really good.
The show I'm going to recommend, sadly, only has 1 season. Is based off of book, but was an amazing first season, and it should have gotten a second season. And everyone was in like outraged that it didn't. It's Lovecraft Country. So good. Starring like it was like a black horror show. So a lot of black main characters. Actually, all the main characters are black, fighting racism. And it has a lot of like little historical facts in it. I think that's why I like it so much. Like, you know, why do they paint over brick and stuff like that, or like the Green Book, and updating the Green Book is kind of how the story gets started. So really, really good. Highly suggest Lovecraft Country. But it only has 1 season. It ends because it was its first season. It ends satisfyingly, but it obviously tells you that there could be more. But yeah.
Okay. Is it inspired by H.P. Lovecraft?
It is.
You don't know, that's the guy that wrote all the stuff around like Cthulhu and stuff like that.
Which I learned from South Park, but we'll get in that another time.
Amazing show. I'm always gonna recommend South. If you want a good show from beginning to end with a great satire, South Park.
But you have to really love satire.
You said what?
You have to love satire.
Yeah, if you don't like satire, you're not gonna like the show, because it very blatantly says things at people in the harshest of ways to make you say, "Oh shit, they're talking about this other thing."
Yeah.
Heath, you're up.
So I guess I should go with Black Mirror. There we go. That counts. Black Mirror
counts. Say that. I took it off my list actually.
Good.
It does count.
Yes. So if you don't know Black Mirror, another thing on Netflix, and it's an anthology series. What anthology means that every episode is its own standalone thing. They're maybe 40 minutes to an hour and a half, but each episode is their individual story. They're not necessarily tied together. There might be some Easter eggs in there, but all around, like, they tell different, unique stories through how technology can evolve into some twisted way and create some twisted scenario in the future that ruin someone's life or is it. They're all very fascinating tales, so I do recommend them.
I think my favorite episode of Black Mirror was the one where the guy got like blocked. If you remember that. No, the ratings episode. The block one's like right there, but the ratings episode where like everything in the world was based off of ratings, and like your likes and your ratings and stuff determined if you could get a loan, if you could get a car, what kind of apartment you could live in. And this girl was trying to get like a 4.5 rating so she could move out of her 3-star rating apartment with her brother. And like she was yelling at her brother and her friends like, "Yo, you guys don't aspire to be anything good. It's like you and your friends just give each other likes all the time and keep yourselves at 3s and 3.5s. Like, and my life's comfortable, and you're stressed the fuck out." And then he like gave her a down star so she couldn't get the Uber to the place she had to go to for work, and that made her late. So everyone gave her down stars. It started fucking up her life. It was like just a domino effect.
Oh, damn.
Yep. And if you're a 1-star ass nigga, they just put you in jail because you're obviously not a good person.
I mean, not obviously.
I mean, you have 1 star.
Fuck. How'd you get 1 star? Like, fuck.
Yeah, you must have done something. You're a terrible person.
Shit was funny, but great show nonetheless. Great anthology series. I recommend everyone watch it. Also shows us kind of what the dangers of technology could be. Definitely.
Yeah.
So my next one, I got to steal this from Heed. I don't know if he has it on his list, but Z Nation. Anybody who likes zombies, anybody who likes horror, anybody who likes, once again, comedy, Z Nation's a great mix of those because it has a lot of it's an unserious zombie story. Basically, same thing as always. The world breaks out in a zombie infection. However, there's one guy who's immune. His name's Murphy, and he's blue because of what the virus, basically the way the antivirus went through him, it made him turn blue. And that's why everyone has a bounty out for him. Random people want him. This what's left of America wants him. Rich people want him. And it's about this team's journey from New York to California to take Murphy to the CDC so they can make a cure. But it's not that straightforward. Like, the show is goofy in a lot of ways. Like, it's very serious sometimes, like when they talk about cannibalism and stuff, but also very goofy in the sense of, like, there's a nigga named 10K who does not speak for like the whole first season, and they're like, why is his name 10K? He's like, because that's how many zombies I'm gonna kill. And they're like, all right, what are you gonna do after you get 10K? He's like, probably change my name to what? Jeff. I like Jeff. But he's like fucking serious, and like there's tons of stuff where it's a goofy show, but at the same time it has some serious moments. Like, these niggas took the Liberty Bell through Philadelphia to kill zombies. Shit like that happens in it. Where it has, I think it has 6 or 7 seasons, but it was one of those shows that you knew its time was limited. I'm amazed it got as far as it did, but it was entertaining throughout the entire thing. The story was easy to follow. The characters were very enjoyable. I recommend it for anyone who's a fan of like The Walking Dead or zombie series. Watch that. You'll get a good laugh and you'll have a good zombie story going.
Okay, so my next one is, I was just trying to get the amount of seasons, but that's not right. What came up on Google is American Horror Story. Each season is its own kind of like horror world, which I really like. So every season has a different theme. A lot of the cast is the same, which is nice, but each season tells a different story. So you have like Coven, which is about witches. You have Freak Show, which is about like a circus. You have Hotel, that one's about vampires and kind of like a trippy hotel. Think like The Shining with vampires. There's Roanoke, there's Cult. So it's a bunch of like just topics that are seen as scary, and they make like whole seasons out of it. I highly recommend it. It's been on for a long time. It's saying since 2021, which is crazy because that's not true.
That's the other series, because it did split into something separate.
Okay, so it must have, okay, so it's split into separate things. So yeah. So but I highly recommend, especially the beginning seasons, like Freak Show and Coven. Those are my favorite seasons so far. And they get kind of spooky, kind of scary. So, and it is a drama, so it's not as funny. Like, it has funny moments, but it's not as funny.
Okay. Heat, you're up again.
I'll double back because you just said an anthology, so I'll circle back to mine later. We'll go Devilman Crybaby. I gotta say,
telling me to watch that. I need you to convince me, big dog.
All right, so I honestly can't convince people to watch this. I've seen Devilman Crybaby, and if you don't know, this is an animated series that I believe is also on Netflix still. It's technically an anime. The thing about Devilman Crybaby is the themes are all over the place. There's a lot going on, but the gist of the story is regular dude meets a guy, becomes friends. A situation happens, kind of like that scene from Blade where he's walking into the club and everybody spawns into it. That literal scene happens. He's in there freaking out. One thing leads to another. I think it was like a blood transfusion or something. He ends up getting the ability to turn into a devil himself, and he uses that to fight other devils. But he's also like a really kind-hearted, sweet guy. So it's called Devilman Crybaby because he is Devilman.
Crybaby?
But he's also, yes, a huge crybaby. So when the devil side of him really takes over, he like fully indulges in being like a devil anti-hero in a sense, because there's a lot of murder and gore in here. But he's also a big crybaby. And his friend is the spoiler. it's one of those shows that at the end you'll be like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what just happened here, but it leaves you with something to think about for sure. And I won't spoil anything past that.
Noted. I've been
But
told to watch that show a few times. Like, it's really good, but I never took the time to start watching it. You know, it's one of those shows
yeah,
that's like on the watch list, but it's not on the watch list. It's like,
I get that, and I say like if you're a fan of outlandish themes like psychological themes and themes of rights or wrong, like it's a good watch. But if you're one of those people that turn it on, you're kind of like in the background, you're just gonna be confused because there's just a lot going on there. But I didn't hate it. That's the best I can say about it. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it as much as some other shows, but I didn't hate it.
All right. So my next one is going to be a little bit more. I'm gonna stick with the zombie theme. Walking Dead. Walking Dead is a great show. Up until, for me, I stopped watching I think around season 6 or 7. Whenever
You like zombies.
I do.
Oh,
It's
I
great.
love zombies.
Heat.
I love it.
Black Ops 6. Zombies? Ah? We gotta get those Easter
I'm
eggs,
not-
brother. It's time, brother. I think it's
I don't know about
free on Xbox for the Game Pass.
We'll see.
If
I
it's
just-
free, I'm getting it, but otherwise I'm gonna wait. How's that?
Fair.
All right, bet.
Fair.
Back to zombies. All right, so zombies, right? Walking Dead is like, everybody knows it. It's super popular. It's the go-to zombie show because that one's not jokes. It's serious. It's like following a group, specifically Rick Grimes and his group, through the zombie apocalypse. And it's actually a comic book, written by Eric Kripke. If you wanted, you could always go check that out, right? It's a little different. They follow a lot of the story up into a very big point where about 60% of the following fell off. At that point, I see what they were trying to do. They were trying to flush out characters, create a new story, continue the series. And he said he actively wanted to fix things throughout it. But it's a great series nonetheless. It's a good series. The characters are well developed. It will make you feel things. You will actively be watching the show and going through it with them. A lot of the times you're going to be gripping your seat, like wondering what's going to happen. Is someone going to make it? Are we just going to cut this person's arm off? Type shit like that. It's a great show. I started watching it when I was, after the heart attack situation and all that, I was not hospitalized. I was bedridden for about 2 weeks. They're like, don't leave the bed to piss and wash. Other than that, have someone bring you your food, sit down, relax, let your body heal, right?
So sister of mine.
So
Food.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I was
it was my dad who actually like stayed with me. So my dad always takes off like 2 weeks every year.
Because he saves all his time
sick
and it's use it or lose it.
Yeah. And it's use it or lose it. So like the time he's about to lose, he just uses all of it at once, right?
Yeah.
So he just saved it for then and was like, I'll stay home with you the whole time. No bullshit. My dad watched the first like 3 seasons of Walking Dead with me.
Oh.
Like, yeah, I would be in my
Yeah.
room watching, like, oh, our show on? Bet. And then we caught up. And then
Our
we started
show-
watching it every Sunday on TV. He'd be like, our show coming on today? Bet.
My dad loves a good like series, like something that he can watch once a week. That's him.
He was
That's
into
him.
it too because it's serious. For lack of a better term, it's serious. Like, niggas is dying. Niggas is telling the group, look, I will fucking kill you if you're lying to me. Like, you go out on
Yeah.
this run, people getting eaten and you're seeing it. So my dad's into all the gore and like, if it's got a story, he's into the gore. Like, he loves
Yeah.
the show Spartacus. He's like, it's a
Oh,
story.
and
It's fighting.
True Blood.
And
Remember
True
he
Blood.
was
Yeah,
he
was
into
into True Blood.
True
Like,
Blood was
like
that
vampires?
show.
Like, no, I just like the show though. I'm like, it's a vampire show, big dog.
Yeah. I'm not here for the vampires.
Right.
He was not.
So for him to watch that with me, it's got some nostalgia to it, but like the show was actually really good. I continued to watch it up until like the 6th or 7th season. I think that's where it happened, something like that. I can't remember exactly, but it's a great show, a great watch. It'll have you on the edge of your seat most seasons, most episodes. The only problem I have with the show is that Rick goes through these phases of being a bitch and then being the baddest badass ever. Like, god damn.
Very psychologically all over the place.
Yeah, but when you analyze it deeper, it makes sense. Like, niggas going through trauma aren't gonna be like cowboy gung ho. but niggas on their shit got something to lose. Oh yeah, I'm active as fuck.
Yeah. And it's interesting with that show is the fact that, you know, Rick was a cop before everything happened. So it's him being a stand-up citizen cop, going from that to the apocalypse with zombies. He has to make a lot of hard choices internally, and it's interesting to see him go through that.
I think that's what like the whole first couple seasons is him trying to still be a good person versus season 7 Rick. Like I think it's a poster where he has a beard. He looks feral in the poster. He has a beard, like a leather jacket with the wool coat that's covered in blood, and he like has an AK in his hand, just looking over his shoulder, like just like that. And I'm like, that nigga look like he's seen some shit, and he has. So,
speaking of niggas who's seen some shit,
but that's the thing. If you're in Rick's group, you good. Rick got you. If you Rick's people, Rick got you.
Speaking of niggas who seen some shit, this show is currently in its 3rd season, and it's running right now. It has been a very long time since like a scary movie or a scary show has given me nightmares. This show gives me nightmares. Like I can't watch it at night. Like I have to plot before I watch episodes. Like it is scary. So From is about this family who basically they're driving in this, and the same thing happens to everybody. You'll realize there's a sequence. The birds fly, the tree falls, they have to circle back, they circle off the road and then going through town. There's no way to escape this town. Once you're in the town, you're stuck. But at night, there are these. That's on, right? Mm-hmm.
Oh,
it's in season
I need
3
to watch
now.
This. I've heard
you
good
need
things about it.
Like, it terrifies me sometimes. Like at night, these things come, and if you're outside, they literally they tear people apart. They don't just eat you. But like if you have a talisman, like in your house or in like where you are, that space is protected. But like if you open a window or a door, that's like allowing them in, and they come in and they can kill you. And they taunt you. So like even though a lot of the town, like by the time we come into the story, the town is established, they have rules, and most people follow them. Like when you come into the story, actually somebody has broken a rule, and that's how you kind of get introduced to this town. But it teaches you why they're like, you learn from the beginning of the first episode why they are so strict. Like they like knock on your window, they try to talk to you, they'll mess with you, they'll make noises. It really is scary. And so it followed the sheriff. He was not recently, but before he came to the town and got stuck there with his wife and his son, he was in the military, and he had like literally just retired, which was kind of sad. Like
I can't keep doing this bullshit.
Like he retired, and they were like going on like a family trip to celebrate his retirement, and they were driving, and that's how they ended up in the town. And like all the new people that come to the town, it's really hard for them to believe it, but like they have to convince them by sundown. Like if you're new, let's say you come in at 3 p.m. They have to convince you of the shit that's going to happen by sundown, or they just like lock you up because like they don't want you to die or anything like that.
But I ain't got all day to keep trying to convince you, stupid. If I come at 6 p.m., the nigga said, "Look, put him in jail." What the fuck I do? This is for your safety, I promise.
And actually that's what happens in the first episode, because the family wasn't convinced, so they were like, "Just lock him in this room until the morning, and then we will explain." But we can't keep letting them fuck around outside. Because also they didn't want, like in the case of like, okay, you're running outside and now you realize it's scary, and one of the townspeople like try to open their door so you can come in, because that's what the little creatures do. They'll knock on the door and they'll be like, help, I need help, somebody open the door, help me. And people will open the door.
I'm gonna watch that. This sounds great. Also, I saw a clip of it. I saw a clip where you said the window, and it reminded me, like, the dude that's a sheriff was like, look at it, and it's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to leave the window open.
So that's not what happened. So the first episode, I will spoil because it's in season 3, and you literally, it's the first thing you see. There's this little girl, she had to be like 5 or 6, and the little ghost thing comes up to the window, and it's an old lady. And she's like, "I'm your grandma, you can open the door for me, it's okay." And she's like, I'm not supposed to, it's not safe. And she's like, "No, I'm your grandma, why wouldn't I be safe?" So the little girl opens the window, and before the mom could snatch her, the thing comes in. There's like literally the room is like covered in their blood. And the thing that was wrong was if you have children, the rule is you nail all windows down so that your children can't open windows. So your windows have to be nailed down, nailed shut, so kids can't open windows. And he didn't do that because he was so like depressed about their situation. He was drunk on the floor at the bar. The bar has a talisman because somebody lives in the house. That is the bar. So he was drunk on the floor at the bar, and then so after they found the wife's body, he like that's what he was like. He's like, look at it, like you did this, and he's like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And then they like he had to, and so like when kind of all this is happening is when the family, who's kind of like the main character family, comes in. Well, not the main character family, but the new family comes in. So it's really crazy. Like season 2 is even crazier. A bus of people come in.
That sucks.
So like think of like a coach bus of people.
I would see that bus and be like, damn, Ayo Heed, how much you want to bet at least 5 of them niggas gonna die tonight? Because I'm not. There's no way we convince all of them.
So it's like stuff like that. So it's like it's them trying to figure out how to have some type of civility in this crazy town and figure out how to escape. Why is this happening? Like how can we, like, is there a way out? Is there a way to stop this? Is there a way to defeat them? So it's like levels of that. So it's really good. It is currently in season 3. I have not started season 3 because I'm just not ready to. I'm just not ready to not sleep. But Chris has started it and says it's really good.
Pussy.
Like season 3 is like on the same level as all the other seasons. Everybody is enjoying it. So good luck, because like I said, that movie like literally had me, because it's not that like the creatures are scary. I think it's the situation. Like I keep having dreams that I am driving.
It's realistic enough for you to think about.
It's, like, oh, yeah, fuck, it's realistic enough. Like especially when we watched the first season, was right before we took a road trip to come up to Baltimore. I was like, where's the birds? I see the bird, and then the tree. So like spiraling. It's realistic enough, and like, yeah, that it could be real.
I got you. I feel that. I like it when it feels real.
Yeah. So I highly suggest From. So
Pause.
Good.
Pause. I don't say pause, but that was the biggest pause I ever had in my life.
What did you say?
I like it when it feels real.
So do I.
Is that brand new? Oh, it's got that fresh. What's your next one? You're muted, buddy.
Yeah, you muted yourself.
Yeah, I did. There was a lot of loud music outside. Dang it, that was a good clippable thing because you guys' phrasing was not there. But
that was him. That was him.
Who? Not me.
Not me.
But that series From sounds a lot like something, so I was looking it up, and it reminds me of Wayward Pines, which, if you don't remember, it was Terrence Howard was the sheriff in this show. But I'm trying to remember the gist. I do know that there was a town. The main character woke up from an accident. He was in the town, can't contact the outside world. He finds out his girlfriend is like now settled down in the town, and like the inhabitants aren't allowed to leave. There's a fence around the town. Anyone that attempts to leave gets murdered by the sheriff.
Yeah.
It had 2 seasons.
Huh. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was a Fox show. Fox show. It was a good watch. It's based on the book series of the same name, Wayward Pines. But the book was a trilogy. The show only had 2 seasons. So the second season kind of leaves you on a cliffhanger where you would have to read the book to get to the rest of the story.
Gotcha.
But it's a horror thriller mystery that apparently there's a little sci-fi in there, and that's the hidden element in there that you'll learn more about in season 2. But it's very similar. If you like From, I think you would like Wayward Pines. Personally thinking, I haven't seen From, but from as you describe it, I think that to be a true statement.
Okay, I like that. All right, was that your next one, or do you have one?
And I'm gonna count that as my next one now.
All right.
Buggy, we
So I'm
got.
gonna go a little bit more lighthearted then, with a classic from childhood that also scared me a little bit. Goosebumps.
Do, 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 do.
That was terrifying as a child.
It was
It
because it
was.
was like scary enough to not scare an adult, but like real enough and also imaginative enough to be real. Like they
The
had a
books
lot
scared
of good stories in there.
That was
Like,
back when I used to try and read, and those books scared me. I would put the book down like I can't.
Nah,
I don't want to know what the next word is, but I ain't reading that.
and like Goosebumps is a great series if you never watched it. It's once again another. It's a semi-anthology series because some stories connect, but most stories are one-offs, right? Like there's reoccurring characters like Slappy, the puppet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slappy the puppet's a reoccurring character who like knows he's a part of Goosebumps, right? Because they're all stories, and some of the stories know that they're stories, and some are real, and some are not, and blah 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 blah. Some are curses, some are witches, some are cursed locations, and not all of them end happily ever after. Although it is a kid show, like, and you would think, oh, we'll figure it out at the end and they'll live. No, there's a lot of Goosebump episodes that end in a family being dead, cursed, or disappearing. So it's like, it just made it real. So it's like, it's a lot about the occult once again, cursed objects, type shit. I'm tired of saying that. Type of stuff. It's got a
Same.
couple seasons.
That's the same thing. Type stuff and type shit is
I know.
the same
I don't want
word.
to say type shit every time though, but it's on Netflix if you didn't know. It's also on Apple TV, and it's got 5 seasons. So
I didn't know it was on Netflix.
It's a really.
You
good
sure it's
show.
not the new one? I thought they had a new Goosebumps.
No, there's a movie, and that's not
the
bad.
movie. That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking of. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Of. Okay. So my next one is Them.
Fuck. I should have just did it when I had it up.
Do you wanna do it? Because I didn't finish it. I'm still
No.
like in the middle. Okay, we'll tag team it. We'll tag team
You
it.
can't tag team it because I haven't seen it, but it was on my list because it was good.
Let me talk about it. I have seen
I
it.
wanted to take it from you. That was the goal
So really am enjoying like black horror. Like I really am enjoying that. Like that we have so much of it now, and like the black
people get slaughtered, huh?
No, I'm just enjoying that we can be scared too. We ain't gotta die first. No, we ain't gotta die first. We can survive the movie because we the main character.
there. Killer Mockingbird was probably your favorite book, huh?
What?
You love Samuel L.
Wild.
Jackson and Django, huh?
No.
On you.
That would never be me. Y'all know that. I ain't gotta convince it. So it follows this family of 4. So it's a husband who is a veteran, and now he's like he's an engineer, and then the wife who is a school teacher, and then their 2 daughters, and they move to Compton. But this is Compton in like the 60s, so like this is when Compton was like all white. It was like an all white neighborhood, and they are the only black family to move in. So on top of like having to deal with like a lot of racial issues, there is something up with their house. Their daughter is seeing like an entity, and it's starting to fuck with them. Like I said, I didn't finish because it does take a little while to get into the spookiness of it all, because a lot of it is like establishing like, well, one is trying to establish like maybe there's something wrong with the mom's mental, but we all know it's not her. It's everybody else. Because like there's this scene, and it's pretty popular, where she just comes out of her house waving a gun at the white people because they was fucking with her and her kids, and you know the white people ain't having that. Because they're like trying to get her to move out the neighborhood, but also it's something fucking with them in the house as well, and kind of outside of the house, because they like things start happening to them when they're not home. So I do highly suggest giving it a watch. It's really good. This is on Amazon Prime, so once I say that, y'all should know top tier show, because Amazon don't miss. But yeah, really good.
All right, you're back up.
Jesus, these are going faster than draft picks.
I only got 2 more anyway.
Okay. I can do. Yeah, I have I have 3 honorable mentions, but the honorable mentions
Why
are
do you
like
always have so many
all.
fucking honorable mentions?
My honorable mentions are for you.
I
They're
don't
for
care.
you.
I don't want them. Keep them.
Yes. So I care about you, not the shows. I'm gonna go with one that's also on my to-do list. It's called Servant, and it's a psychological horror. From my understanding, it is very similar to the Chucky concept, Annabelle concept, where it's a family, but in this case, they lose their newborn baby, and they end up with a doll that is called a reborn doll, which is
This
an
sounds
actual.
incredibly familiar.
Yeah, you might have heard of this show. It's so they end up with a reborn doll, which is a handmade doll, like from knit something. I don't know. Basically, the mom kind of
4
loses her shit.
seasons.
Yeah, the mom kind of loses her shit, and they end up hiring a nanny to take care of this doll, and something's not right about this doll. So a lot of uh supernatural stuff happens around the
Ron
family.
Weasley's in it.
Ron Weasley. That's how you remember him? He has a name.
Rupert Grint.
There you go.
Ron Weasley.
But it sounds like a real interesting concept. Again, it's 4 seasons and it's on Apple TV Plus, which I don't know how easy it is for people to go to that, but there are some shows on there that are pretty interesting. So I definitely recommend checking it out because I surely will be checking it out.
Heard some good things about Apple TV shows, like the shows that they do make are pretty good.
Yeah, like Blind, the one with Spider-Man. Damn it, I did the diva thing. He has a name. We don't remember his name. Zendaya's lover.
Tom Holland.
There you go. Zendaya's lover, Holland.
Zendaya's lover, Holland. Don't you dare reduce Tom motherfucking Holland, Spider-Man, to Zendaya's lover.
No, because you can't. Because Tom Holland is Mr. Speak It Into Existence.
He is.
He said I'm gonna be Spider-Man.
Be in a movie with Zendaya. I'd love to be Spider-Man. He is both Spider-Man and fuck being in a movie. He is inside her.
He said, "Oh yeah, I would love to date Zendaya."
Nigga is busting in that thing. You can't convince me otherwise.
Mr. Manifest.
I was already having a bad day, and now that gave me that, like that's just gonna ruin the rest of my night. I gotta go to bed thinking about it. You know how hard it is to not think about it?
You ain't gotta think about that at all.
You put it out there.
Hey, look, maybe one day when we're famous, he'll hit you up like HD No TV. Would you participate in a threesome with me and Zendaya? It would be our honor. And then you gotta show out. I'm not gonna lie to you. You can't say no off of pride. You gotta go and you gotta show out.
Don't listen to him. Stop listening to him.
You gotta go and show out because you gotta make her question it, and then you gotta hop in that crack and you gotta hop in that crack and you gotta
The title's gonna be Don't Listen to Greg.
This is why Inspired by Crack is a running joke here, because that was a very crack-like idea you had. Like you just had a couple hits and you just like, I know, like in the future this is gonna be your future. I'm not clipping that, but just know that I definitely 100% would do that shit if the opportunity ever presents itself. But I know that would not happen.
Yeah.
We are not going to talk about it because I respect Drake.
Drake.
Whatchamacallit from Uncharted.
Okay. Nathan Drake. Got you.
Nathan Drake. I respect Nathan Drake enough to not talk about his significant other like that.
But do you love Zendaya enough to pipe better than Nathan Drake / Tom Holland / Spider-Man?
You know, Nick Cannon once said, I plead the fifth, and made it a game show.
He did do that. Look, man, sometimes you gotta.
Nick Cannon once said it's a crazy line.
When Nick Cannon once said another one.
He did. So did DJ Khaled.
I like Nick Cannon.
Don't say that. I think we said his name too many times. He might spawn and impregnate somebody. So yeah, don't say it.
Don't say that. Um, damn.
Context.
Show. Did y'all know that there was a
Huh?
Beetlejuice like show?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I'm still
Yeah.
terrified to say it 3 times right now.
I'd do it.
I don't know what to tell you, dog. You've been doing it since Lil Wayne did it, so I don't. Good for you. Fuck.
Wow.
Is it my turn?
Um,
I don't know.
Yes.
I was gonna say
Yes.
the Chucky series. I really
Yeah.
like Child's Play. It horrified me as a child, but as I got older, it's just funny now. Chucky's an entertaining killer because he's on a mission, but he's so unfucking serious. Like,
Yeah.
if he really wanted to complete what he wanted to complete, he would have did it. Like, it's not hard for him. Like, he just be playing around too much.
He be on his Ahsoka timing, like trying to set it up. And
Yeah.
it's like it's right there. Like just take the kid and be done with this.
How many times
Yes.
he's tied up people and they've woken up like, whoa, how did this happen? You could have did that spell numerous times. He is a master with knots.
he in the show there's this clip when he's like, "What? You're gay?" He's like, my kid, my kid is
Trans.
she is trans. He's like, so what's that?
Like, I got a trans kid. What's that mean? Yeah.
What's that mean?
Because yeah, if you've never seen Seed of Chucky, his kid had split personality. One was a boy that was shy and gentle and innocent. The other was a girl that was a fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
Glenn and Glenda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
because-
they were able to put their souls in twins, so they split. But they still were fucking crazy. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Good times. I like Seed of Chucky. That was a good one.
I think that was the best one to me.
Bride of Chucky's.
Bride of Chucky's
No,
arguably better.
Bride of Chucky.
No,
No,
Bride of
definitely.
You're right. Bride of Chucky's better. That one
For sure.
The kills in Bride of Chucky were so much fun. They were just so much fun.
Introducing her was just of that series.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're definitely right. He said, "Wait, Chucky, do you have a rubber?" Tiff, we're made of rubber. I thought we were made of plastic.
And Jennifer, it's just Jennifer Tilly's voice is just great.
That
It's
still makes me laugh to this day.
Okay. You have one more, you said, right, Greg? I'm gonna save my controversial one for last.
Oh God. Yeah, I have one more. So Heed, you're
Okay.
up again.
No, it's my turn.
Oh, I'm sorry,
What?
Diva, you're up.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Tokyo Ghoul. Just the first season.
No,
Don't
the
watch
whole
other
show
seasons.
is very horror-ish. Like it's
But just watch the first season.
It's the whole
Yeah.
show is psychological horror. If you think.
Yes. And it has some gory parts. I mean, it's all of this is gone.
You ain't even. I had to tell Heat about some of the manga parts because they watered that down so much.
Yeah, like the end. We're talking about shows, so I definitely want to talk about the show. But like, if you want like it, read the manga. But it's the show that follows this kid named Kaneki who has
Kaneki is a grown ass man. Let's not play this game.
He's in college, right?
He's 19. He is in college. He just.
Oh, my
looks
bad.
like a
I'm
child.
sorry.
So yeah.
All right, this grown ass man with a baby face.
There you go.
Who through unfortunate circumstances becomes a ghoul. Well, part ghoul. And ghouls are a normal thing in the world. They eat people. They can't eat our food. It literally tastes like eating shit to them. But they can drink tea, which is nice. And he's introduced to like this ghoul world and culture, but like there's a government agency that's out to kill ghouls and take their like special tea and make them into weapons so that they can kill more ghouls.
Do you say their
so you're-
specialty? Like they just growing plants?
No, they're specialty.
Oh,
I
they're
don't know what
King
they're
K.
called.
Queen K. Queen K? Is it King K
Essentially,
or Queen K?
Queen K.
Yeah.
Good. Ghouls have their basically like Doc Ock. They have versions of tentacle things that spawn from their bodies, and they kill them, take those, and turn them into weapons that are based on their specific niche that when they were alive.
Mm-hmm.
And they use it because it's the only way you can kill a ghoul is with another King K. It's really good, but it is a psychological horror. I do want to give a disclaimer because there is some pretty brutal like torture scenes and stuff like that in there. But I did enjoy season 1. The other seasons are good. It's just like they just feel off
They are.
because
Don't worry about
because they are.
Yeah, they are.
I know it's because they are, but for what they are good. So
it. They're okay.
enjoy.
Season 1,
They're-
great.
they're okay.
Every other season, okay. Trigger warning
And
that should have been in the beginning. Gore, cannibalism, torture, psychological horror, and abandonment.
Yeah.
Potentially
Oh.
sexual assault.
Yeah, no, those are
It's speculated but never said.
yeah, those are definitely.
But those are
covered.
all true, and so like if you are sensitive to those subjects, I do not recommend for you. But if you want to watch a gory anime that is also dubbed, because I know sometimes that's hard for people
The
who are
dubbing's
getting
actually
into
really
anime.
good in that show, honestly.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
The guy does kind of keeps Ken's voice very well, going from like the whiny, bitchy voice to like the monotone, broken him. Like he does a
Yeah.
very good job. It like having a juxtaposition.
Austin
You know what I
Tinder,
don't like?
Leah Clark. There's a couple people.
I
Sorry,
hate
go ahead.
alliteration names. I hate it. Like especially like in anime and like in comics.
Oh, you're
I know
gonna
we do
love
it.
21 Blackjack.
I know we do it so that we can like, because it's like easy to remember because alliteration. But god dang, I've been getting tongue tied.
That's crazy
Yeah, I don't
coming
get-
from the lesbian.
Too soon. Just too soon.
Is it? It don't feel soon to me. It's been a
That's-
long time coming, actually.
Not from your earlier comment. Too soon.
Too soon. Phrasing also.
From jumping in cracks to licking them.
Make sure it's recording because you're on a roll today, and whenever you're on a roll, it don't be recorded.
Now you jinxed it and it's just gonna delete itself. I'm sad. I'm prepared for it now.
You're on a roll today.
Yeah, I definitely recommend Tokyo Ghoul. It's a really good show. The manga is so much better. Like, they left out so many good ass parts. Also very gory parts, but good ass. It's the psychological aspect of like
Mhm.
the fact that the big trope is that Kaneki doesn't want to be a ghoul. He's forced to become a ghoul, and like he doesn't want to eat people. And he doesn't for the longest time. But that nerfs his strength, that nerfs his powers, that nerfs everything about him. He's constantly starving.
Yeah. So that
And
when he gets
ghouls, fun
attacked by the
fact,
government,
yeah, ghouls, fun fact, can cannibalize.
that's where it gets crazy.
But if they cannibalize, the healing factor is slower. It helps, but it like stops the starvation, but you'll never be full.
Right.
And that's something he has to deal with. So
It's okay.
Yeah. My last
that
note
was
on that.
still crazy. Sorry.
If you do enjoy the first season of Tokyo Ghoul, I would recommend reading it if you're a fan of plot points and not just watching something, because you're going to be missing context going through the next couple seasons. They're still there, but you have to fill in blanks with your own thoughts.
You'll be missing you'll have to watch an explain video to understand it if you just watch the show. Because like his intentions aren't clearly pushed in the show alone. Like he has a lot more conversations, a lot more of I'm doing this because of this, or I need to protect this, or I need to kill this. And it's a lot of that in the manga, and then the show is just like, we're here now.
We're killing things. But yeah. Go ahead.
So 1 or 2. Somebody pick a number.
2.
So two was a Game ga Kyo. 1 was Future Diary. But a Game ga
Future
Kyo.
Diary, please.
Fine.
Because the Kame ga Kill doesn't feel like a horror to me. It just hurts.
Yeah, there's a lot of hurt in there. Future Diary for sure is a horror. Fair warning. It is also a psychological thriller horror. There is essay in there. It's not implied. It's not shown, but the story is said. That makes sense. So it's essentially what Future Diary is, and this might make sense to some people, not others. If you've ever seen Eden of the East, it has the same premise where they have cell phones, they can do things. What the point of it is that it is a game played for the who's going to take over the role as God, because God is dying and he needs a replacement. And so he put together this game, which is not inherently a death game, but it turns into that, where there are 12 people picked. Each of the 12 have their own diary. And the diary is something that they were already doing, but now they just have like the aspect of telling the future. For example, one person's diary, the main character's diary, is he was always like writing down on his phone everything he saw around him. Like that was his diary. So his future diary turned into, it's telling him what's going to happen in the next like 10 minutes, I think. Like it's writing itself. Another person's, their diary was speaking through their disciples because they were a cult leader. And so their diary tells them what all of their disciples see right at this moment. Another main character's, her diary was so disturbing. Her diary told her what the main character was doing in that moment or what he was about to do. So when it became a future diary, it told her what he was about to do in the next several moments, which together their diaries are invincible because his says what everything around him is doing, hers says what he is doing. So if he has both, he knows the entirety of the future in the next couple minutes. Like I said, the point of this was a death game. It didn't inherently turn into that when all of the contestants started murdering each other because they want to become God, and once they're God, they can do what they want with the universe. So the main character, very similar to Kaneki, was not really willing to play this. He was kind of roped into it, and it turned into, I have to do this to survive. And he became more willing to utilize the tools on hand to achieve his goals of ending the game. I won't spoil anything, but I will say if you do watch it, there's an OVA out there that finishes the story because the story does end, but there's a better wrap up with the next OVA that's out there, and I think it's like maybe 1 or 2 episodes. But a lot of twists and turns, a lot of hidden characters and stuff. It's definitely a good horror. It's a good psychological thriller. I always recommend it to people that are a fan of, murder games and horror.
Okay. So I'm gonna say this show, and then during the little where Diva has her honorable mentions, I'm gonna say a series I wish was created, right? And the last one is Channel Zero. This is something TJ put me on to. I've only seen a couple episodes of it, but it's another anthology series, and each episode is a different horror thing. Right?
Like the one y'all just watched this weekend? Oh, okay.
So that's how Channel Zero works, and it's really good. It's based off of famous internet creepypastas. So if you don't know what creepypastas are, it's basically a website where they tell like scary ghost stories, but they're like mutually agreed upon. Like that's where like Slender Man comes from, stuff like that. He's a creepypasta, and there's tons of those, right? Tons of stories like that. And this basically explores them and tells stories, anthology stories based off of like different creepypastas. So if you like creepypasta, if you like anthology series, if you like horror, I say give it a watch. It's really, really good. I've seen like 2 episodes of it. I need to finish it, but it's 3 seasons. Give it a watch.
Okay.
Diva.
So this one is for my alphabet peoples. So it's called Dragula. It's called...
what the fuck?
So Dragula is a drag competition, but they do exclusively hard drag. Like it goes almost as far as like spooky makeups and all that kind of stuff. I think it's really cool. It's like a subsection of drag where they only do like horror themed drag. If you Google it, you'll see what I'm talking about and you'll get why I suggested it. It's super cool. Some of the looks can be scary, but I think that it counts.
It's not, but okay.
Does count.
How do you not follow? That's terrifying. How do you not follow your own prompt?
I did. I think it was a good one, like a good add-on, and it's different. It's not a serialized show. I said horror TV shows, and I think Dragula fits.
It's not horror in any sense of the word.
Please.
It's a reality TV. It's classified as reality TV.
It is reality TV. That was why I asked you that question earlier.
He asked you a question earlier.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Face Off? It is just drag Face Off. That is literally what it is.
Face Off.
Face Off is not a horror. It's a reality TV competition where makeup artists are trying to showcase their skills at making costumes. What's horror about it? When they walk out for 2 seconds and they're like, oh my God, oh wait, that's just a person in a costume.
since I have to do another one. Castlevania. Oh, bitches.
I don't think that classifies as horror either.
I was gonna give it to her.
Oh,
She can't take 2 L's. That's just sad. It's her problem.
yes. It has vampires
Nope, it's
and
horror.
ghouls.
It's only horror, it's not
Yeah.
even action horror. It's horror.
So Castlevania, I've talked about it a bunch of times, and I'm gonna keep talking about it until y'all watch it some more. So Castlevania, it's based off of a video game, because gamers, we're all gamers on the pod, and
I'm gonna add a button that's gonna be like, boo this man! Boo! I'm gonna add that. I'm gonna do buttons this week. I'm gonna do that this week. Yeah, we getting buttons in here now. Heed, you're gonna be on buttons, alright?
Okay.
but
You give me I'll figure out how to download it myself.
it follows a Belmont every season. So there's two. I can't say there's two seasons. There's 2 series. The first series has 2 seasons, and then the second series I think has 2 seasons as well. It follows a Belmont, which is a family of like vampire demon hunters on their quest to vanquish vampires and demons. So both series are a little different. I suggest you watch both. It's really good. It is funny. It has like funny moments because the characters are funny, but highly suggest. So haha.
Which is weird because like the Van Helsings are the real ones. I'm pretty sure they not based them off of them, because like the Van Helsings are real people. You know that?
Yeah.
No.
They are real vampire hunters. The Van Helsings. You can look them up. They're a very historic family.
That's cool.
That being said, I'm gonna share something, right? I was thinking about this because Joy's favorite, I guess, horror suspense movie series is Scream. She can watch it. The gore's not too much for her. Blah blah blah. Right?
Yeah.
I want a Scream series, and hear me out, because the plot of Scream is relatively the same, right? But there's a background plot, like what they're talking about. Oh, they're stab enthusiasts. They want to make a new stab movie. That's like been the plot of the last 2 or 3. Like, oh, the last stab movies were terrible. We're gonna make our own and become killers. And when people hear this story, they'll make a stab about it, and it'll reignite the franchise.
Yeah.
I'm throwing this out there. If anyone from Hollywood's listening, I think it's a good idea. You can tell me I'm fucking stupid, but here we go. Right? Here's my pitch. We're gonna call the show Stab. Obviously, we're not gonna call it Scream. That's already taken. It's called Stab, right? And it's gonna follow these 2. One's a really smart college kid. The other one, his roommate, is a damn near dropout who's in like film studies and just is a movie buff. They both love Stab. They both use Reddit, and they hear about these people trying to start their own movie with it, and like, yo, why don't we start our own movie? Same premise. So we're following the killers this time. First couple episodes, them getting the stuff together, and then I want the next, from episode 3 on, to be all the kills. And I don't necessarily want them to get caught. I want it to be us following them. How? Because there's always 2.
So Nip Tuck for
Nip Tuck? What the fuck?
You never seen Nip Tuck? Not Nip Tuck. I'm sorry. What's that one where he's the doctor?
I want to
And he
know
kills
why
people?
the fuck Nip Tuck was the first thing that came to your mind.
Because I'm thinking of like slashing and cutting and stuff, but that's not what it's called.
So
It's
nipples came?
called Nip Tuck, like.
Hey, you're with
Like
me, right? I'm not
surgery.
crazy. I know I'm not.
Not nipples, nip, like nip it in the butt.
Nip and tuck? Because I'm thinking nip tuck. Like I'm taking someone's nipples.
No, that's no. What's that movie with the guy? And he's a doctor and he kills people
Dexter.
because
It's Dexter.
Dexter. That's what it is.
What? How did you get to Nip Tuck?
Nipples was on the brain. You can't tell me they weren't.
It was not. Nip
But
Tuck
yes,
is about
similar to how
surgeons.
Dexter
Plastic
was,
surgeons,
because Dexter was a
surgeons.
cop. I want it shown from their point of view. Them hunting
Right.
people, them calling
Yeah.
people, them planning it out, them setting the traps. I want them to... I'm not sure how I want it to end per se. Like, if they get away with it, that'd be nice. Like, I kind of want the first season to be them getting away with it. Like, the plot actually coming all together. And then the movie being made. And, like, the series, the first season of the show ending with a great movie, right? Being coming out, great ratings, off of this killing. And they're like, yo, we did it. We're the unsung heroes.
Yeah.
Season 2 can be whatever the fuck you want. You can kill the show. You can make it terrible. I don't care. But I think that would just be a good show, a good idea for a show, because although we've been following the survivors and it's kind of the same play, I want to see it from the other side. Like, obviously there's the tropes. I want them to be like, yeah, we got to kill people in the tropes, but we got to make it difficult for them to follow. Shit like that. Because I think it would be really interesting to see how they sneak around, because these niggas just be appearing. These niggas really just be appearing, and I want to see them, like, practice that. Like, episode 2 is these niggas buying stuff and just practicing, like, all right, you gotta just appear. And he's like, how the fuck do I do that? And, like, I want them fumbling around and fucking it up for a while until they kind of get it. And he's like, you're over there. And he's like, nope, I'm right here. Like, I want some shit like that.
Nah.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
He was just waiting. I saw you darting your eyes to hit it.
I figured out how to download it.
Oh, man.
So for my honorable mentions, I have Courage the Cowardly Dog and The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, which I think are like great shows for like kids who want to get into something creepier and spookier. Oh, and of course Scooby-Doo, because who doesn't fucking love Scooby-Doo? And they count.
Another great show you could watch. It counts as a horror show. That video game was so great. I remember that. I played the fuck out that game. It was an arena brawler.
What was it called?
The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Oh,
yeah.
It was just a game. It was an arena brawler. It had a bunch of the characters. Everyone had their special moves, their fighting styles, and all that. Nigga.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think those are like for your like children or for our younger listeners, some classics that still even hold up today. Like they're still really good. Like, because if somebody be like, return the slab, I'm be like, what's your offer?
That episode terrified me. I don't know why, but hearing a nigga just yell return the slab is kind of scary.
Yeah. So that's all we got. Hope y'all check out something new.
All right. Well, that's our list. And all right, so we're going to get into the next segment of the podcast, which is going to be something we skipped over last week, but we're going to do it this week because it's still fresh. It's still in our minds. It is Glorious by Glorilla, the album she just released. Is this her debut album, actually, now that I think about it?
No, it's not.
It's not?
It's not. It might be her.
Can I get some fact checks on that?
It might be her second or third, because everything was technically an album, and that came out.
But that's...
Yeah.
But that might not be her debut album, you feel me? Because Meg technically had an album out, and that wasn't her debut album. You feel me?
Albums are Gangsta Art 2, and then Everything, and now Glorious.
Anyway, life's great. I know what you're saying, but like she has too many projects for that to be considered.
Hey, I'm not an artist. I don't make the rules.
I don't.
Her debut album was Gangsta Art 2. So no, not debut album. It's just her latest album. I listen to Glorilla. I
listen to Glorilla.
I be listening to Glorilla.
She's so funny. I like her.
She looks like she'd be really fun to hang out with. She looked like the kind of ghetto girl I would hang out with. Like, she about it, but not about it all the time enough for me to like feel unsafe.
I feel unsafe.
Dog. Some of these women be making me feel treacherously unsafe. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about what we rated the album. So let's go through, our 5 categories for us to remind.
Can we talk about the album cover real fast? She's so pretty. That's it. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, cool. Here's my thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Angles. I don't think she's ugly by any means. Let me start there. I think Gloria is very pretty. It's just that in some angles her nose isn't the most appealing.
I think she's always pretty. Like they was talking about her when she was getting her makeup done because she didn't have no makeup on, and I was like, she's still pretty. What are you doing?
I don't disagree with you by any means. I think she's great looking all around. I told y'all when I went to the Meg Thee Stallion concert, I ain't know Glo had that much ass. You've been hiding all that ass.
She's so funny.
She has not, actually. She has quite literally always said.
She has always said it, but she don't be like, like that thing was moving. I was like, yo, I'm way back here. And I'm like, yo, that thing erroneously thangin'.
That
The
thing, everything.
Harmonious.
It
That
was
thing,
moving.
everything.
Oh yeah. Go
But let's get
Meg,
to her
go
scorecard.
Meg, go Meg. I'm like, fuck. And then she said, get him, Glow. I said, fuck. Shit.
Well, get him. Oh, okay.
Okay,
Go
Glow.
get him.
Yeah, Glow. Jokes aside, let's go through it. We actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 categories and a multiplier if necessary. Those 6 categories are the length of the album, the lyrics, the beats, the vibes, the production, and the cohesion. All those things go into it, and then if this is an artist that we would not listen to if it wasn't for the podcast, or we don't like their music in general, or this is a genre we wouldn't listen to, generally speaking, it gets a multiplier of 1.25 to kind of accommodate for like the hate we might have on it. Example, if I had her, Diva, listen to the Baby album, she might be like, I don't listen to this nigga, but she might enjoy it, but at the same time, she's gonna give him a harder score because this might not be an artist she likes or listens to. Even easier, Logic. I'm a fighter one day because getting her to listen to a Logic album is the devil. So,
Impossible.
no, it's not. So, like I said, that would get a 1.25 multiplier because as someone who is not already a fan of the music, I'm not trying to give them a better score. I'm trying to give them a fair score, is what I would say. Right? So, let's run through it. Length of the album. I gave it a 4. I think it was a decent length. Could have been a little bit shorter, personally. That's just how I feel. A little bit shorter.
Opposite way.
I could have done without 1 or 2 songs. However, great album. I still liked it. Diva, what'd you give her?
I gave her a 4 as well, but for the opposite reason. I think I wanted like 2 more songs.
Okay.
Or maybe
in which
like
direction? In the hype or the calm? Because this album had it all.
I think 1 of each is what I wanted. Like 1 more each, or maybe just like an interlude. I don't know. I just wanted more. It's me being greedy. I will recognize that it is me being greedy because it is a great album.
Okay. What'd you give it?
So I gave it a 5, and I originally gave it a 4, but I changed my mind because thinking about it, I'm like, 15 songs it's a good length. I'm not mad at that. I mean, she's not like super studio produced, you know. I mean,
Right.
don't know if that's what words, but like for her, this not necessarily being her debut album, but just being one of her, you know, she's now globally recognized, known album. I'm like, this is a good length. I don't need any more. I like how it ends on a like kind of winding down aspect. So I thought it was a good length.
All right, cool. I can vibe with that. All right, next section is lyrics. I gave lyrics a 3, and here's my reasoning why. It's not because her lyrics are bad. I'm sorry I didn't go over this again in the beginning, but our point values grow from 1 to 5, 5 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, and the values each have a translation next to them. 1 is trash, 2 is meh, 3 is this was cool for real, 4 is I liked it, and 5 is perfect / I loved it. I just thought this was cool. The lyrics were cool. It's what Glow stereotypically talks about. I think there might have been 1 or 2 quotables in there that I didn't write down. I'm sorry. But for me, it was a 3. It wasn't anything too crazy being said. You feel me? I think 2 of the songs was like, oh, but like everything else was kind of like production.
Tank top in my biker shorts. I'm showing off my moose now.
That's not even this album, but yes, that was iconic.
This album.
Oh, it was, but that was a single. So
But it was one of the
singles.
It's the single.
That's why
it is one of the singles.
Like that. You're right.
But yeah,
Did
but that's
you see
my
one of the shirts she had, and it says it's got Moose Knuckle on
it. So I gave the lyrics a 4. I like what she's saying because it hits home. Like I'm like, damn girl, I remember that, or I've been there. But I feel like it was a lot of the same. Like, even though the songs were different, we were saying the same thing in a lot of the songs, which is why I gave it a 4 instead of a 5. Because yes, it was vibing with me, and I'm like, yeah, I know these niggas ain't shit. Lord, make me leave these niggas alone. But like, it was just the same thing. So,
all right, Heed, you're up.
What's the category?
Lyrics.
Oh, lyrics. Yeah, she's not. When I think of lyrics, she's not up there of the people I would give a 5 to. But at the same time, like I feel like she has a lot of quotable lyrics, and that's really what matters. So I wanted to give her a 4, but then I'm like, Steve was saying, like a lot of them are kind of like the same thing, just reworded.
Yeah.
But I mean, she has a lot of quotables, and I can't be mad at that.
You know what, Heat? I'm not gonna lie to you. I saw a change you made. I gotta make that change too, and we're gonna talk about it.
Kirk Franklin.
All right, the next category for us is beats. I'm not gonna lie to you. Beats went crazy. The sampling on there, everything was just wonderful to me.
Yeah.
I loved it. Period. Point blank. I have no notes on that. You did amazing, Glow. Your production team. That's coming up next.
I don't disagree. Only thing that what was I gonna say? Oh, so like the track list got released early, right? So happy that I was like wrong, but like I had some, I guess, like some precognitions of like what some of these samples were gonna be like for Rain on Me. I was like, oh, I know what we're gonna do here. Or I think I know what we're gonna do here, but like surprised me. Like nothing was like what I thought it was gonna be, which is not what nothing was what I predicted. It was great. So yeah.
Okay, Heat. You didn't give the number that you put, Diva.
Oh, 5.
There you go.
Yeah, I have no negative notes about her production. Her sound goes with everything she did. I do like the samples a lot, and I was just like, great work, team. Keep it going.
High fives all around. Next section is vibes. Vibes. Love the vibe. Period. Point blank. We went from... I think it really kind of gives you the duality of Glorilla. Like, we see it all the time. She's the boss babe. She's hype. Let's throw some ass. Let's have some fun. I'm out with my bitches. I'm out with my niggas type shit. And damn it! I did it again. Type shit. But that being said, and it also showed you her more soft side. And I'm not used to that. And I still liked it a lot. Like, going from the back and forth. It kind of shows you, like, when the party's going on the weekend, but then you kind of got to get back to it during the week. And then it goes right back to the party, and then back during the week. It's like self-reflection.
And church on Sunday. And church on Sunday.
When's the last time you've been to church?
Oh, me and Chris watch it every morning. We get up and
every
watch
morning,
it in bed.
Everyday kind of church people? Yeah, heathens.
Not every morning. I mean every Sunday. But no, like it gave very much like she goes to church on Sunday, or at least watches it from bed, like I do. I gave the vibes actually a 4. And it's not because I wasn't feeling it or anything like that, but it's because it goes back to like my lyrics thing. It was saying a lot of the same stuff in a different way. So it felt like sometimes I was not on the same vibe, but I was getting the same vibe all the way through. Like I got my highs and lows, but they were like, if it was like a sine curve, it wouldn't be like this. It would be like, it just felt a little bit more rigid. But do I love it? Yeah. Do I like it? Yes, but just didn't love some of it.
All right, I see what you mean. Heed, would you give it 5?
I gave it a 5 for vibes, just because I felt like one of you mentioned it. It was kind of like showing you the range of Glorilla, like how she is that party chick. She's the boss chick, but she also cares about her friends, and she's not gonna let nobody touch her friends or hurt her friends, and that she is a God-fearing woman. Or at least she was raised that way. And then back to the lover girl side, because I've seen her on songs where some of the lyrics I'm like, this is nasty. Okay, this is not okay. It's like I don't really like this song because all you're doing is describing a softcore porn, and I don't like that. But yeah, good vibes.
I feel you. Production, I gave production a 5. I think I gave production a 5 because she was, as Diva would call it, sophisticated, where she still maintained her original sound of like that. She's from Memphis. That Memphis hard bass beat. I'm going to rap hard on this shit. Fuck everything, right? She kept that while still having clean vocals, clean sounds, clean everything. It all came through clean but dirty. You feel me? Like, it was good. I really liked it.
I gave it a 4. And why did I give production a 4? I think it goes back when production, lyrics, and vibes all kind of go together. Again, I just felt like there wasn't enough. I can't say variety because her like even though her topics had variety, like those things didn't feel different to me, if that makes sense. Like yes, she talked about twerking on niggas and like how much she loves her friends and how much like and you know how she's a God-fearing woman, but it felt like it was just all of that all the way through. And it's not that it's a bad thing, it just wasn't for me. I needed a little bit more, I don't know, something. I think I needed a little bit more, for lack of a better word, softness, which isn't Glorilla, and it's just my personal
So
preference.
I'm gonna give her that extra point. I'm gonna help you give it to her, right? And here's why.
Go ahead.
There's 2 whole songs talking about how niggas have cheated on her, how she's still soft, she's still a woman at the end of the day. I'm hard, but I don't deserve this treatment, right?
Yeah.
I deserve to be treated like a God-fearing woman, like a lady, like someone who's gonna find love. I think that's like complete opposite of what we've been hearing the whole time. Where I'm bad bitch, moose knuckle, Nick, like at the end of the
All right,
day,
you got it.
Glow, yeah, Glow.
You got it. You got the point.
All right,
Got the point.
I had to show up for you, Glow. Remember that. It don't mean nothing, but it mean everything.
Okay, I'll take it. Yeah.
Heat.
Production, right?
Yeah.
I'm giving that a 5 out of 5 just because I love when people can sample like, you know, classics but make it their own spin. Like that song with Sexy Red, what was it? What You Know About Me? Sampling Wipe Me Down is not an easy task because that's an anthem song. So you can't fuck that up. And I felt like she ate that, and throwing Sexy on there, she ate that too. So
I'm not a
it's
big
like
Sexy fan.
So I was about to say the funny thing is I've been hearing that everybody hates Sexy Red's part.
Everybody just like you just skip it. You just skip it.
I didn't mind it when she came in the first time I heard it. I was like,
yeah, it's fine, but like
it's fine. Because but like, I could live without it. If she wasn't on the song, I'd be good.
Right, Glorilla ate up her album and ate up that song so well. It's like I hate to be like we don't need Sexy Red, but you don't need her. Like she ate on her own.
I feel like she saw how Sexy Red was doing and was like, I should get her on the track. And I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
I felt like her verse was recorded differently. It just sounded different. Like it didn't belong. Not Sexy Red's, Glorilla's. But the audio in her verse sounded off to me. Like this was not here, or I don't know how to.
Conspiracy theory time. Get the sound heat.
We need that with the X-Files sound. If you don't remember what it's called.
You think she heard Sexy Red voice and went back and re-recorded hers?
I do not think that. I think that Glow probably had a primary one on there, and then after 1 or 2 times, she was like, I can do better.
Yeah, or maybe like Sexy gave her this feature a while ago, and she just didn't record something to it.
I think that whatever the fact, I think that's right. I think what you said, he is right. Like she got the feature from Glow, like not Glow, from Sexy Red. Like sent her the sample. Sexy Red did her thing, and she was like, I know how I'm gonna hit this.
Yeah, like it. I know I sound crazy, but I'm just saying, like hearing the verse come on the track, it sounded off. Not that it wasn't supposed to be there, but it's like the audio just something hit me different. Like I don't know.
I feel you. All right.
On conspiracy theory.
Last section, Cohesion. I gave it a 5. Like I said, it was a juxtaposed album. It's called Glorious because it's supposed to be about her. It's about her being a God-fearing woman. It's about her being a bad bitch. It's about range. And guess what?
Yeah.
I think it did it perfectly. Period. Point blank. Yeah. It showed me everything about her.
It very much introduced you. Like if you didn't know who she was and thought she was, I hate to be like, thought she was like a small time rapper. Like you know who Glorilla is. And I also gave it a 5. And I gave it a 5 mostly because I listened to it on my first listen, and it's another reason why I gave like length a 4. I didn't know I finished it. Like I was like I was listening to the intro again, and I was like, I heard this already. And I was like, I ran through, like you just run through that album. It just flows so well. Like I think she did a great job putting it together, all the pieces.
I agree with you. I didn't realize I was halfway through the album until I was damn near at the end. I was like, oh fuck, this thing's just been flowing. Like one song goes into another, and it's not one of those albums where like if you hear a song separately, you'll hear like the intro to another song. It just flows so well, and like none of the songs are directly connected like that. It's very good. I love it. Heat, anything to say?
If the songs stand on their own.
Yeah, I just talking about cohesion. I definitely felt like it stand on their own. I don't know the way that I read into that, which is very odd, but it felt like the first. Let me be accurate with what I'm saying here. The first
Bryson Tiller album.
6-7 songs, right? That's Friday, Saturday night. 8, which is the Kirk Franklin Maverick City music. That felt like Sunday morning. Glow's Prayer felt like right after church Sunday morning, and then that How I Look felt kind of like how I feel about myself after this week. And then I Ain't Going, I don't like Step, but Let Her Cook, just like her hyping her up on Monday morning, and I Love Her and Queen of Memphis. I just felt like winding down me time. I don't know. That's just how it flew in my head.
I did.
So it felt very cohesive in the how it flowed. Like listening to this together is a nice little touch, but individually, yeah, there's some good songs there.
I got the title of my sophomore album now, y'all.
What's that?
Okay, I was waiting for someone to say it. I was like, I guess I'm just a dickhead, huh?
I said, uh-oh.
No, I didn't hear you say uh-oh.
Oh.
Man, it's my unforgettable isekai weekend. We're going crazy. It's a 3-day.
Next. What are your totals on Glorious? Because I'm
sick
giving
and tired
that
of you
any
bitching
attention.
me this entire podcast today. I'm gonna mute your audio. Fuck out of here.
Me bitch you? Is that what happened? Is that what happened, Heed?
Okay, carpet.
Or did he come at me twice? 2 times.
You want to flap it 3 times and have your dog freak out? Yeah! Crickets, nigga.
You too? You?
E2, Brutus. E2.
I think the real conspiracy is that y'all thought I was on sides.
Niggas get a button and they go crazy. All right. Oh, we've given them too much power. Oh man. All right. So overall totals, because I don't think any of us put the multiplier down for is this my kind of music? Is this meant for me? Since none of us used it, it's just raw scores. This is how we feel flat out. 27 out of 30. That is a 90%. That is an A for me, and I will argue it down. Diva.
Oh, 27 out of 30. I know the scores add up a little bit different, but yeah, 27 out of 30.
Heath.
28 out of 30. Just from our debut album to this, I just like the growth, and I feel like this was the one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So shout out to Glow. Keep it up.
Yeah, I haven't heard any bad reviews about the album. I don't know. Maybe I'm not.
Heard a single bad thing about the album.
I haven't heard anybody say any bad things about her album, which is great for her. But yeah.
Next thing that we go on, we have a hype chart that we have on here. I'll post a picture of it. But the hype chart is basically, it's broken up into 4 quadrants.
7.
Well, 4 sections. I'm saying it right. No, that's 4 quadrants, but still, it's a graph. Hype is the positive X, outside and party. No, positive Y, outside and party music is your positive X. Your negative X is sad hours, or your negative Y is sad hours, and then your negative X is lights off at home. Now, where I gave this a rating, it's in the mid section of outside party and hype. It's a little bit close to the top of hype. Then it's like I think each direction is 7. I gave it like a 4 on the outside party, and then like a 6-7 on the hype. So this is a very much an outside type of time. I don't think it's the most hype, but I think it's very hype, like pretty hype. Like you should be outside listening to this album, most of it. I have it a little lower than everyone else's because of the more come to Jesus music. You're not gonna really hear that outside, but the songs that's outside is outside.
Yeah, I have mine 5 over on the hype and then 6 up on the outside party because I was outside partying with it. I was at homecoming and like being in the party with this, like songs from this album playing, everybody went crazy every time anything Glow came on. Like especially the stuff from this album, it was going crazy. Like perfect time releasing this during homecoming week, like homecoming month, because you know all the homecomings get to turn it up, and it is a party. Like I'm talking like 4 or 5 songs off of this in the club right now.
Okay.
So yeah,
HG.
I was in it.
My score, I give it a it's not an at home lights off at all. It's not a sad at all. It's out of hype. It's 6 out of 7. Outside, I gave it a 3 out of 7 because personally speaking, this is music I would listen to while getting ready to go outside. Some of the songs on there, yes, they are outside, but those were singles before they, so I view them separately. And if I take those singles,
I was saying not just the singles were playing in the club though, and that's why I put it over there because it was some like So I was like,
I'm not hearing.
Who is on the album?
I'm not hearing Glow's prayer in the club. I just want that to be known.
I would love to hear Glow's prayer in the club.
I wouldn't be mad at it, but I feel like for me, some of these songs, I would hear them outside, but just because of the fact that they're female hype songs, like I would listen to them to be hype, but not necessarily out at the party trying to vibe to it, especially in certain states because people look at me as like, oh,
you one of them.
Sassy, okay. Like no, she's just like her music. Like you don't like this? Is it just me? You don't hear this?
Fair.
Well, really, Cliff.
So, last section is reasons why, where we write a little excerpt and I can just read it off to you. For mine, I said the album was lit. Glow was really in her bag with it. Personally, it had me feeling like a bad bitch at 7 a.m. I texted the group chat literally saying that while I was listening to it. But it also had brief moments showing her softer side in that she's not always thugging, but she's always going to be a Memphis gangsta. There were plenty of songs that were finna here in the club. Also, y'all can't shit about the baby. I said y'all can't say shit about the baby no more and how he raps because Glow has the same rap scheme everywhere she goes. Period.
You leave her alone.
I'm not saying it like it's a bad thing.
The reason why we getting on him is because he said he was going to switch the flow up and did not do it.
I'm not saying that he didn't say that, but I'm saying people we're getting on him before about how he always sounds the same. Y'all cannot do that anymore. This is a great album. Let people be in their bag with their thing. It's their thing. Fuck off. Second thing, so I always include my like songs. I liked 11 out of 15 songs. I'm not going through all the songs I liked, but the ones I really liked: Intro, TGIF, What You Know About Me, and How I Look. Those are the ones that I've had on repeat these past couple days. Period. Point blank. So.
Okay, so I'll start off with the songs I liked. It was Hold On, Let Her Cook, What You Know About Me, and How I Look in Memphis and Queen of Memphis. Those are the songs like even like off of maybe the first or second listen I liked. So I said, Rachel said, who is this nigga she rapping about? Cause she had to get him off her chest. That nigga, I don't know what he did or where he at, but feel real bad for messing with my girl like this. But honestly, I wasn't feeling it on my first listen. I was like, maybe because I just wanted more. I'm greedy. I'm a greedy hoe. But on that first listen, I ran right through it, like I said earlier. And then and after the second and third listen, I was hooked. The album goes hard. And like I said, I was in the club with it, and like the songs are going like they go hard, especially what's that one? The What You Know About Me, going like that transition from Write Me Down to the What You Know About Me. Fire. That was great.
All right, here you're up.
I don't know what I wrote down here, but this for sure was an album for the girlies. But the thing I like about Glow is that she makes music that niggas can vibe to. Like it's lyrically for the girlies, but like I've seen videos of somebody pulling up someone at the light, and this man is bar for bar on every song, and it's like, yeah, because it's tough. I like that. But you know, outside of the club things, it gave me like perspective her growth, because the sound, she might rap the same, but the sound and where she's speaking from changed a lot on this one versus other albums. So I felt like this was the culmination of her experiences the last couple years, ever since she came out on the scene. So I was a big fan of that. The only songs I didn't like, and people might hate me, well, obviously I don't like Step. I don't like Boss D-Lo's music. I mean, the sound's the same, and it just felt like she just took his song and put a verse on it, put it on her album. And I don't know, I think Queen of Memphis was just too slow for me.
It was too slow for me. I didn't like it either.
Yeah.
It was what I was looking for. So it was perfect.
But like you said, it's for the girlies, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
As a girly.
Up for debate.
Yeah. You're one of the most nigga girlies I know. Stop playing. You know this.
The girly.
Who?
Glorilla.
I think you top her out sometimes, honestly. In your younger days, definitely.
Wow.
Do you forget that you came home talking about how you fought a football player? That's weird time, dog.
You call me a bitch. You deserved it.
Like I said, that's crazy. These niggas is high school football players lifting abnormal amounts of weight. Cause them niggas was savage her year.
Hey, I mean, I feel like the girly response would have been to talk to a guy and he's like, yo.
Absolutely. But you know what she did? She fought him and came back not a bruise in sight. I said, what the fuck happened? It was one of those situations like, you should see the other guy. Like, I'm like, you said you fought him? Oh, yeah. Me. I'm like, that's crazy.
She pulled up her pants and hit him with the little rockabye baby.
Nah, Bento fights like this and keep moving this one so you look at it.
That would disillusion me.
I fight.
I'm too discoordinated for that. Like, if this hand's moving, it's hard for me to like do something coordinated with this.
All right, but that's how we feel about the Glorilla album, everybody.
Great album, Glow.
Great Glow. Yeah, Glow.
Me and Glow are becoming best friends because she hangs out with my bestie all the time, so I be seeing her. So now we getting close.
You are the embodiment of female delusion.
And that statement was inspired by crack.
Inspired by the crackiest of crack. Maybe a little bit of fent.
Y'all gonna be so mad when I'm Eric's best friend. Y'all gonna be so mad.
Hey man, just give me some.
And that's why that NDA is null and void.
That NDA is so null and void.
All right, Greg, ready to show me your shirt?
I don't have a special shirt. This is one I already made. I did, however, get my shirts that I ordered 4 months ago from Otaku Supply.
Oh, I had a show and tell actually.
Backstory. I'm gonna let you get to it. I'm so sorry. Backstory on it. He does pre-orders because the way he does his shirts is they're not pressed, they're printed. So they hire a company, they basically dye the shirts the color, and then you get a huge sheet of fabric of the shirt, right? And then they cut it out to size and then sew it together and make each individual shirt individually, right?
I didn't know that's how he did it. I've ordered from them before. That's where I got my Draken jersey.
Yeah, that's how they do that style. Anytime you see that it's not like, it's obviously not pressed, like you can't feel it and it's in the fabric, either they did an inking method or they did the clothing method. Usually the cloth method is what they do pre-orders for. So I know exactly how much material to order.
Yeah, they do a lot, and he always does. So like they'll do a pre-order, let's say they do it in February. It doesn't ship until March and you get it late March, April. So
yeah, I got an email that it shipped 2 weeks ago. It was in transit for 2 weeks. And then yesterday it said it was supposed to come. It didn't. They had the wrong address, so it went back to the post office. I was so scared I wasn't gonna get my package. I paid so much money. But then they sent it back, and I actually got it today. The shirts all look super oversized. They aren't, kind of. I took some pictures in them. I'll send them to you. But like, they fit me well. But someone like Darren, they don't fit well. I'm a big body Benz ass nigga. Like, I fill out a fucking shirt, especially looking forward at me. I look good. From the side, that's a different story. From the back, I look better. And from the other side, it's the same thing as the second one. But I look good nonetheless.
There was a pause that needed to be in there.
Hey man, if you caked up, you caked up. Don't be jealous. Be better. Like I was saying. So, But like I was saying,
Gay. Real gay. That was really gay of you.
is that
I
homophobia
don't
I
know.
smell?
I can't be homophobic.
You
I'm a
can
homo.
you can be so homophobic.
Same way I can't be racist. I'm
Yeah,
black.
you can.
Also not true.
By
I also
definition.
can't be sexist. I'm a woman.
Also very false.
Just all false statements. Let me guess, you can't be black because you're black.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Yeah, I can use buttons too, motherfucker.
I created that.
That being said, the shirts fit relatively well. The only part I don't like is the collar. They have like almost they're double this size. Like this is a normal ass collar, right? And like it's only this thick. They're like this thick. It's very thick and it's like up here. I'm thinking I might talk to Jenna and get her to cut it and like make a normal collar for me, because those things are overtly thick. They fit well. They look really good. They are made of a quality material. But I promise you, you will not catch me on that in the summer. That t-shirt is thick.
What t-shirt are we talking about? I missed that.
I ordered 3. I got a Maki from Jujutsu Kaisen after she got burned, and then I got Mirako, and then I got a Static Shock one.
I mean, like the production company.
Oh, it's like Otaku Supply. That's how they fit. So for me, they
You
fit
posted that.
relatively well, but for other people, they might not, just because like I'm a big body Benz ass nigga.
Yeah. You built like security.
I am
Yeah.
built like security. I'm not sure if that's a good thing though. I want to be smaller, but there's so much good food, and I don't want to go to the gym. Like going to the gym on a regular basis pisses
It's the
me
worst.
off. It pisses me off.
It is.
I come home upset.
So when I was going to the gym, when I was going to like a gym, my job has a gym now, so I don't have to go somewhere. But when I was going to the gym and I would ride past it, I'd be like, oh, fuck, well, missed my exit. Too bad, so sad. I'm not going today. If I miss my exit, too damn bad.
All right, Heed, what you have for show and tell?
What do you have for show and tell?
You actually made me remember, which is sad because I was supposed to post it earlier, but whatever. I bought one of these.
Oh, I
That's
got
too
one.
sad.
You got one too? Which one you get, boo?
Of course, you know I love me some Majin Buu. Hang on, lights too bright.
You'll love that pink matter. Hold up, did I ever show mine? I'll be right back. I got one too. Hold on.
I don't have one. Why didn't I know we was getting hats?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, crap sushi says it on the back. I don't think that's gonna clear up.
Yeah, I got it.
I don't know
Centil.
what this material is. What you can call it?
It's like felt,
Felt,
velvet.
yeah, like felt velvet
Mm.
material in the front. Trucker hat. Even the caps kind of felt. They got the little Majin Buu on there. That's my dog. If you don't know, Majin Buu is my dog. You might not see that, but that's Kid Buu over there in the
So
corner.
why is it not your main on Sparking Zero?
Because he costs too much for DP.
So
That's
that's why I was like, you were telling me do DP battles, and I was like, I'm trying to do singles to improve my personal skill, because the niggas DP battle are garbage. I accidentally didn't pick a whole team. I had Future Trunks and Ultimate Gohan, and I beat a guy with a team of 4.
Well, that's because skill matters, but using up the full 15 points is also important.
That nigga was using fusions, and I was feeling good. But he got the Boo one, I got the Goku one. I kind of want the Boo one now because I wear a lot of pink and black, so it's like now I gotta wear more orange. But this goes with a lot of fits that I've been planning out, so I'm happy about this. His has Boo on the side, mine has like a Goku outline with the Kame House symbol on the side. But as per usual, shout out to Trap Sushi. We love them folks. Them is Kim folks and Skin folks.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Diva, what you got for ears? Lay it on us.
Spooky season. So these ears still have the tag on them because I was planning on wearing them to the Not So Scary Halloween party this year, but I didn't go. And these are probably my favorite Halloween ears that I have. So it's Minnie in her like Dracula like form, and so she's making the bow. And these are like really fuzzy. They're super soft, and the band is leather. And it comes with like a black tag instead of your typical white tag. So like I said, as you can see, I haven't worn them. The tags are still on them. The whole Minnie, this whole thing glows in the dark. she glows in the dark, which I think is really cool. Yeah, the plan was to wear them to the not so scary Halloween party this year, but mine was one of the ones because 2 of them got canceled because of hurricanes. So one of the ones that got canceled because of the hurricane. But these are super cute, and I'm gonna wear them next year. So I'm not gonna take the tag off. I'm just gonna put them back, and I just can't stop touching them because they're so soft. So yeah, those are my ears.
Stroke the furry wall.
Well, that's it for show and tells. Let's get into the final part of the podcast. Thank you if you made it this far. Remember to rate it 5 stars on everywhere you watch it. Enjoy it, like it, and share it. That being said, it is time for weeks. I'm gonna go first. My week's been fucked, dog. The end of my week, dog, work. I had a podiatrist appointment because my toenail was doing weird shit and hurt one day, and I was like, I need to see somebody about this because it's darkening. I don't know if it's TMI. Too bad. Dog told me, he was like, yeah, you had a subdermal hematoma, which is basically like bleeding under your toenail. He's like, you probably hit it on something. It happens. It's something that just happens to some people. But toenails, fun fact, they can't let the blood just come to the top. So what they do is they get rid of your whole fucking toenail. So essentially what I've been experiencing and the worry I had, because my toenail was like breaking at like the root, it's basically my body growing another toenail underneath the one that's already there. So like my toenail raised and then like it's coming from the back. And he's like, I can cut off the excess toenail and just give it a couple weeks and it'll grow and you'll be fine. So I got some x-rays. He checked my ankle and stuff. He's like, you're good. I'm like, awesome. Great. I'm fine. Get to work at 10 o'clock, right? Switch out, tag out. Guy who's the office guy covering for me. It's like, cool. Welcome back. Within 30 minutes, disaster strikes. And let's just say I went into crisis mode at work and had to put out fires. I was there from 10 until 7 p.m. I didn't leave until 7 p.m. I'm not going to get into too many specifics. I was pissed. I was supposed to go eat ramen at happy hour with some anime club members. That didn't happen. I was so pissed. And then Joy was like, hey, little sister / daughter hasn't been to the casino ever. Y'all want to go to Horseshoe? I was like, and my theory is if I'm ever having a bad day, I gotta play lottery, spend some money, something, because all of my luck can't be bad, right? Terrible way.
And you already spent the bad luck, so the good luck is here.
Dog, I went in there and they played the slots, lost their money on slots. It happens. I'm like, time to go to the big boy tables. Little sis a little scared. I'm like, nah, it's gonna be fine. Trust me. Just have faith in Lady Luck. I went to play roulette. No bullshit. Went in. I spent $100, but I made it back and then made an additional $345. So I was like, and they were giving me my numbers, but I was like, no. I was like, what numbers you guys want to do? And type shit. Trying to stop. Shit like that. And I was like, and they gave it to me. So, we
I feel like shit pot. Like that is the same thing as type shit.
I know. I'm just trying not to say it. But yeah, basically I ended up giving each of them $100 and kept $125 for myself as the player, you feel me? Because the way I gamble is, if I'm playing roulette, pay what I'm going to pay. If I win, take it. I take 10, pay the tax man, as I call it. So basically every time I win, I'm putting $50 aside. Your mic's muted, by the way.
Yeah.
I know.
So yeah, that's how I gamble to save money, and it adds up very quickly. And if I'm winning a lot, or when I start getting too much here, I take more and put it to the tax man, which is Joy, and then I start betting more on the table. So yeah, I start getting a bunch more. Like there was one round where I won the number, the color, and the zone, and I was like, all right, let's figure this out. He was like, you want to start getting some 25s, big dog? I said, nope. Because it's going to fuck me up. I'm not trying to fuck the money up. But other than that, I went to homecoming with Diva. What else did I do? Sunday. Also, Sunday, I went and saw TJ and hung out with him for a little bit. Other than that, I've been playing Sparking Zero. Been playing a lot of Overwatch, getting good at that. I'm playing it on mouse and keyboard now, so I'm getting good at that. You feel me? And then got to start playing Super Mario Jamboree. That is the new Mario Party game that came out. Dog. I only played one round. The new places, the new games, the new setup. I'm not gonna lie, I had so much fun. I've played Mario Party hundreds of times. Like, this was a new experience. It was so much fun.
Oh, we can play at Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. We got our mom to play.
Mm-hmm. Also, Jordan beat me in a jerk-off game. Crazy statement out of context, but one of the games was you have to mine through a wall in the motion. No bullshit. Click the trigger. Do this. To make it through. I'm like, I'm gonna win. Easy. Light work. 7.19 seconds to get through that wall. In there. 6.58 seconds.
It was moving.
There's a lot of ways to spin that, but I'm not even gonna comment on it.
Moving. So
Sometimes you gotta rub the bean real fast.
I'm not gonna lie to you. In this household, Jordan is the meat beat king. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Until I beat that record. Damn.
It's a crazy record.
Crazy record. But I won. 3 stars, you feel me? I had the most money, the most coin, over 150 of them things, you feel me? I was a rich nigga. I was playing as Fat Boy. Not really. There's like 20 different characters you can play as now, and it's so much fun because they're all so different. But yeah. Get that.
We'll save the the world traveler for last. So I'll go next.
She just flew across states just as many as I did she not?
Hell no.
Hell
Yes,
no.
she did.
She
I flew
flew this way. You flew this way.
Yeah, but I flew across 3 states.
Oh, you're right. You are in Texas. He might.
Yeah,
He's got you beat. Wait. Texas is like 4 states. Chill. You can't cheat me.
I'm not cheating you.
Texas is
Nevada,
huge.
Arizona, California.
Each of those states
Georgia.
are way bigger than the states on this side.
But Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, the one in the middle, Maryland. Like, come on now.
Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina.
But it would take me
Virginia,
less
West
time
Virginia,
to
that's what you
drive
meant.
to where I went than you to drive to where you went.
You drove?
No, I flew, but that's not the point.
How long was the flight?
He flew.
How long was my flight?
2 hours.
Hour and a half, 2 hours.
How long was yours?
I think 3. But I mean, 2 time zones, it's hard to math.
Yeah, that's. Oh, you changed time zones, huh?
So was it?
So if
really
you went
3
from
hour
North
flight?
Pole to South Pole, like that just wouldn't beat flying it from Texas to Maryland. That's one time zone. It's like, oh shit, you changed time zone.
Change time. I didn't change time zones. I stayed at the same time zone I'm in.
All right,
But
enough of the dick measuring. You're gonna kill me with these buttons.
Look how many there are now.
Oh God, he's been working. I haven't been paying attention.
My week last week was shit because I went
I
home
can't wait to use some of these.
and I worked. How many buttons are there? Can I see them? Why are there
Focus
so
on
many
what you
buttons?
gotta do, Chief.
Yeah,
Okay, there's so many buttons. Okay, so I because I was going home from homecoming, I worked 10-4s, but I did the math wrong. Because Thursday I needed to leave early to go catch my flight. So because I had to leave early on Thursday, I ended up having to work Friday morning for a little bit. But yeah, so flew into DC on Thursday. We dropped our bags off at the hotel, hit U Street. Then it was homecoming, yard fest, parties, the bison ball. You can see all the pictures on my main Instagram. If you like, if you don't, oh well. Had a wonderful time seeing all of my, well, not all of my friends, but seeing a lot of friends from school. My crew was incomplete. We missed one. We had one missing, but we still had a great time. I learned.
Where she was.
Yeah. I learned she had to work Saturday night.
Oh,
So
damn.
Mhm. So I learned that I'm old and I can only go to a party if I have a section. I can't go if I don't have a designated spot to sit down because I need to be able to sit down when I'm ready to sit down. And I just can't go and just be like, I can't just pay $20 and be like, I'm in the club.
In the fam
No.
or in the club, we all fam.
We all fam. We said that all weekend. That's all we said all weekend.
It's crazy.
In the
because New York
club,
City was
we
way
all
crazy.
fam.
I would
Huh?
like it to be noted that I love the fuck out of that show, and I didn't realize that's why everyone was saying it, because it came from that show.
It's
I
such a
realized
good
it as
show.
soon as I heard the voice. And what's crazy is more people didn't like. A lot of people didn't like that show. Like it got like 3 seasons. It was pretty good. It was decent.
Yeah, I
Not that
liked
great,
it.
but
Good.
it was decent.
Good.
It replaced Workaholics.
And then I came back to work thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna be tired, but it's cool. And Monday was fine. Like I dug through the day, but today was rough. I had to send my first like mean project manager email, so, and it was just really stressful for me. I don't know why. I guess because it was my first time having to be the bad guy. So, yeah, but I did it.
I play villain real fast.
You're weak. I'm on the buttons now, boy.
I ain't add something for it, but so my week work-wise is always ass. It's progressively worse and worse each week, but we digress. Because I didn't care. Because this weekend, I decided to go catch my 49ers, San Francisco 49ers play their game. So I went to
Where?
San Jose, California. I live in Texas, so it's a 3-hour flight with time zone changes. I don't know the real math there,
5.
but I mean that's not how that works, because I don't know.
2 hours
It
you
back.
is.
lose?
I mean, that's just the time zone. That's not the actual flight time. You know what I mean?
The flight time don't change, even if the time zone changes. If it's 3 hours, it's 3 hours. It just don't. The time you get there is different.
Okay, I be confused. All right, but
Nigga, I just purchased the flights. You feel me?
I just got on the plane. Went to the game.
hate is what I feel in my heart.
I need to copyright
But-
that because I started saying that shit.
Damn, I can't remember what that movie was called. But what happened was, so I decided to be not necessarily local, but unlike this one, you know, she goes home, she be driving place to place. I ain't had no car, okay? I had to get on the bus, I had to get on the train. I had to walk, okay? I probably walked like 12 to 15 miles all weekend. I don't believe that.
You've been to homecoming. You know you have to walk everywhere. You know the Uber can't get to campus because the roads are blocked. So you gotta walk like 3 blocks off campus. Like you know what it is.
3 blocks was like 10 minutes for me.
No, 3 blocks off campus. So I had to walk off campus. So I had to go from where I was on the campus to at least 3 blocks off campus. But the hotel, so like the bottom of campus is S Street, and my hotel was on O Street. So I just walked to O Street. It's not that bad. It wasn't that bad. I mean, it was
Well,
bad, but
I was in San Jose, and for those that don't know the Bay Area, I learned this when I planned this trip. So San Francisco is across the bridge from Oakland, and so it's San Francisco on the left, Oakland on the right, and down south is San Jose. So San Jose is where the 49ers play now, because in San Francisco, the area that the team used to be in, I learned from locals, is a bad area. So they moved to somewhere nicer, which is like Silicon Valley in San Jose. So while before the game, I was there all
got off the
weekend.
hood.
Yeah, honestly. So I was there all weekend, and what I decided to do was I caught the train to San Francisco, which was like an hour and some change ride. And I walked all around San Francisco. I probably walked like 40, 50 blocks of San Francisco. I saw so many different neighborhoods. I went
It's
to Chinatown.
hills.
Oh, no, that's the north side. See, because I was like, oh, there's no hills. It wasn't that bad. And then once I got to the north side of San Francisco, where the bridge was, there's so many hills, so many hills. What my dumb ass decided to do was I basically walked along the coast towards the bridge so I could see myself getting closer to it. Eventually, it got to a point I'm like, I probably should have caught that bus, because now it's getting late and I don't really want to be over here. Kind of want to go see what the rest of the city in Oakland looks like. So I try to make my way to the closest bus stop. It was maybe 3 or 4 blocks uphill, 60-degree angle or worse. Oh my God. It was, no, that's six. That was 6, 7 blocks actually. Because the first three was just one. Then I had to go over, which was another hill. So I went straight up 3 blocks. Then I had to go over, which was still up. Then I had to go up 2 more. It was a lot. But it hurt. Them city blocks hurt. And Greg, you would appreciate this because I don't know how, it's not a superpower, but when I left the coast of San Francisco, I said, I'm gonna find somewhere to eat. So I looked up a random neighborhood with a bunch of restaurants called Caldera, something like that. Like, that sounds interesting. Some of the restaurants sounded nice. So I caught the closest bus to Caldera. When I got off the bus in Caldera, come to find out, I'm in Pride Town. There were pride flags everywhere. It was guys everywhere. And that's not a bad thing at all in any way. It's just, when I'm going into neighborhoods like that, I get looks that I'm like, somebody's going to kidnap me and take me home. And it's like, I mean, if you pay for my flight back, that's fine. We'll talk about it. But
gay for play is crazy.
But yeah, so I saw a naked man just casually walking down the street. He had quite literally nothing on. He had maybe a small bag to cover his privates, but he was casually walking down the street. It happened so fast, and I thought it was me delusional because no one else reacted to it. Like, no one at all looked toward. It's just regular pride side of town. I don't know. But anyways, let's skip through all of this. I made my way to Oakland. I wasn't there for long. I literally went there to see a dispensary. Then I went back to San Jose. I explored San Jose on a different night, and twice on 2 different nights, different parts. I saw the game. It was a very, very bad game all around. My team lost, which also sucked. But
emotional damage.
I was waiting for that.
I knew you were gonna use that. But all around, I wasn't too upset. It was a good experience. Got to meet some interesting people. I met some dudes at the airport before the trip, and I ended up hanging out with them most of the weekend. So it might have been a solo trip, but it turned into a group trip, and they were some cool dudes. Definitely gotta touch base with them in the future because they're like 3 hours away. What's up?
How are you Mr. Antisocial and you made friends?
Let me tell you about this motherfucker right here.
So
He Mr. Antisocial, but I promise you, he can get you into anywhere. I don't get it. Like, he posted on his story, he said, got some free food because I'm handsome. And that just made me flash back to when we were at DreamCon. We were like, damn, now we got to find another party. We didn't get Trap Kitchen tickets. And the cover was $25 a head. And I was like, I don't want to pay $25 a head for nerds that don't really want to party. This nigga, I turn around, he's just talking to some random dude. Turns out, dude's the DJ. And he's like, oh, you want me to get y'all in for free? And we're like, I'm not going to say no to that. And then we're in for free. Don't even have to buy the guy a drink. He's like, oh, I don't drink, so, and I'm about to go on. So, I mean, you could buy me a Red Bull. Bought the nigga Red Bull, walked off.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't enjoy talking to people. It's not a favorite hobby of mine. It's actually very draining. Like, the longer I talk to people, the less energy I have in my spirit. But it's something I taught myself to excel at. I can be very friendly and social. I typically, yeah, but it's because I know in the long run it's more of a benefit. I don't hate people in general. I hate people in general. I don't hate specific people. There we go. Like, as a populace, I'm tired of everyone. But individually, like, I tolerate a lot of people in a good way. Tolerate's a bad word. But
tolerate a bad word. It tolerates a good word.
I think my my issue is that I do not look threatening to people. I'm easily approachable for some reason. Being Nigerian has its own set of perks in general, and that's what happened at Trap Kitchen. The dude was Nigerian, casual talking. That's just gonna click, bonus. Apparently, to middle-aged white women, I'm very handsome, and they want to give me free food or other things, and so yeah, things work out for me because of
past that.
I have buffs I have buffs that make it easy to communicate with others, but I don't enjoy doing so.
Nigga said random San Francisco bitches was just throwing pussy.
Um,
Just random San Francisco, because that's not what he said. He said random white women. So that means white women all over are just throwing pussy at him.
I said middle age, and they're not throwing pussy. They're just being friendly.
You know, a girl told me she wanted to be friendly with me in a movie theater once.
Y'all have
Niggas
different
want to be
types-
friendly all the time.
Yeah, y'all have like grew up in Maryland just like I did, but here in Texas and California,
It's just
they
that
have a
southern
different type of friendly.
hospitality.
That Southern hospitality and that West
You
Coast
should gonna go down
hospitality
south.
is real. I literally walked outside on, mind you, this is an added bonus to her. Every single night that I was in the city, if I was not, which I never was back in my hotel before 8, I would
AM.
have a PM.
Okay.
If I'm not back in my hotel by 8 p.m.,
So what
I
was
have-
you doing?
I have a 30-minute walk guaranteed because the buses that run close to my hotel are not running anymore. The trains can get me close enough, but it'll always be a 30-minute walk. So every night ended with a 30-minute walk in silence down the long road.
You loved it.
I didn't, because mind you, I'm leaving the house at 8:39 in the morning, and I'm walking all day, and I end my day with a walk.
Yeah, and you had the combat boots on.
Yeah, those were intentional. I knew what I was getting into. I brought all comfortable walking shoes, hiking shoes at that. But the reason I say all this is because I have this last comment. I literally walked into my hotel Saturday night. I was about to go up the steps to my room, and then I looked outside and I saw they had the fire pit lit, and I'm like, ooh, like I haven't seen that lit. So I was wondering how many people were sitting outside. And as I walked outside, there was just this one couple sitting there, this older white couple. And I was just like, I just wanted to see if the fire pit was lit, how, see it's warm. And they were like, no, join us. I'm like, no, I'm tired. Like, I just been walking for the last 30 minutes. Like, I got Taco Bell 30 minutes ago because it was the 30-minute walk. Like, Taco Bell was in the middle. So I was walking this whole time thinking about eating this, but I'm like, I'm gonna wait till I get to my room. So I was like, nah, I don't want to join y'all. I'm gonna kind of go upstairs, tired. And we chatted for a minute because that's the courteous thing to do. I'm not going to rudely walk away. Long story short, they invited me to their
taco.
Oh. Come on. Don't interrupt the story. I was immersed.
Her husband ate her taco that night. It was heard throughout the hotel. Everyone heard it. It was loud and clear. No, that's not what happened. No, it was not what happened. I have no idea. They did seem a little intoxicated. Who knows what they did, okay? I'm not going to question what grown folk do. I'm going to stay out of grown folk business. But they were kind enough to invite me to their tailgate. They told me where their spot is. They're season ticket holders, so they're here at most home games. They live like 3 hours away. So they have a tailgate at the pole. She gave me the number so I can make sure I could find it if I get lost or anything. And I showed up, free liquor, free food. Like, they were so hospitable. They were all super funny. Like the husband, he was heavy-handed. He was like, they had a friend that was like the bartender. She was making drinks and she was, making drink. He just said, tell me when to stop pouring. I'm like, sheesh. So I got all the free Tito's that a man could wish for before the game. Random free food. It was lit. They said, make sure next time you're in town, just remember we at pool 5. I even saw 2 offensive linemen that played with Joe Montana. If you don't know, Joe Montana was a quarterback for the 49ers who played in context here. The Super Bowl this year is Super Bowl 59, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of them said he played with Montana in Super Bowl 16.
Jesus Christ.
42 years
He's
ago.
alive?
Yeah,
He's
both of them were.
Player. Goddamn, dog.
Yeah, they had
Super
Super
Bowl
Bowl
in his 20s. He'd be what, like
60 something. That's it.
60 something.
Your father's almost 70.
He's alive. See how hurtful that was? See how hurtful that is? Shout out to my old brethren.
Oh, that's crazy.
I apologize.
But yeah, anyways, it was cool seeing that. They had Super Bowl rings. One dude, he had to be like 6'5", 6'6". And I'm like, he's so tall, he had to play something. Like, that's not normal. And I'm so upset that we didn't speak to him before because, yes, he was a lineman. He had 3 rings. He had them on People were taking pictures. I mean, we caught the other guy in his rings. I forget his name, Alex Kemp, maybe something like that. But it would have been dope to see a Super Bowl ring in person from someone who played with the guys back in the day. That would have been great. It was great. So can't complain for the weekend. Questions?
Close out. I have a question. How did you become a 49ers fan? Like,
That's a
there's
great
so
question.
many teams on the East Coast, especially like, and even like where we live concentrated. So how did 49ers on the other side of the country?
The short, simple answer is my dad is Nigerian, and I tell people this because they don't know, and I don't know. I have to preposition it. When he first came to the U.S., he was in Texas, so he was a Cowboys fan. He grew up a Cowboys fan. He's been a Cowboys fan all my life. So getting old enough to start enjoying football, because I didn't start watching football until like 12, 11, something like that. All of my knowledge comes from studying after that. But yeah, after getting into football, and mind you, that was around beginning of high school for me and Greg. So that was when the Super Bowl was the Ravens and the Niners. So hearing the Niners history, yeah.
That was a close one too. Jesus Christ.
You raised your hand.
No, I was putting the fist up for the Ravens. Yay, Ravens!
Oh.
I'm not a big fan either way. They're home. They're the home team. Is how I would describe it. I haven't decided what my football team would be. I remember once when I did, I was like, I like the Lions because they have a lion, and then they were dog shit every year. I was
at this point, it's a yap session, but the Lions won their first playoff game last year. It was the first one in 30 years. They hadn't won a playoff game in 30 years, and they almost went to the Super Bowl if it wasn't for the
did. They did really well last year.
Yeah,
they're the Lions. I'm like, what's wrong with the Lions? They have a lion.
Yeah. Especially back when you were younger, that was not too long after the 2008 season, which everyone knows the 2008 Lions because that was the first time a team never won a game in a season.
Yeah.
Everybody getting fired.
That's what happened. They had a lot of dark times, but ironically, the Lions have some of the greatest players in NFL history. Yeah, that's its own rant. I won't get into it, but to summarize what I was saying is that the Cowboys' greatest pain in life for the last 40 years is the 49ers, because same conference, when it comes to playoffs, head-to-head battles, always close or not close, but yeah, the Niners ran the 80s, some of the 90s. The Cowboys ran most of the 90s, and basically, the NFC Championship game, whoever won that was winning the Super Bowl. Like that was that era. Like, we don't care what the other side's doing. Whoever wins this game is going to win the next game, and that was always true. Yeah, my dad is a Cowboys fan who hates the Niners, so I'm a Niners fan.
Nigga said I did it despite my father. Also, they're pretty cool.
Yeah,
they're pretty cool.
I haven't decided. Me and Joy said we're gonna start watching more football. We're not gonna become a super football household like our parents are, but like we said we want to watch it more because we like hosting. So it's like we want to host more like football parties, Super Bowl parties.
Are a Steelers fan?
See, I care about myself and my affiliation with my family.
Right.
They will disown me.
You met my mother?
Yeah, but
TJ's a Steelers fan.
As he should be, because it makes sense.
Well,
TJ's a hardworking man. He's a stand-up guy, family man. That is the Steelers culture.
I'm not that. I'm a lazy sack of shit.
You know what Baltimore culture is as a team right now?
Whoa, what is it?
Them YNs.
We're 5 in a row right now, so bite me.
I'm just saying, like as in like they are a young team and they just kill shit with Derrick Henry.
Yeah. At least we don't, run off in the dead of night like some other teams.
You mean the Colts?
I do mean the Colts.
That was Diva's team, if you didn't know, for years. And I was like, why are you a Colts fan? She was like, because the quarterback. I'm like, uh-huh.
I was a Peyton Manning fan. I was a Colts fan because that's where he was. And then I was a Broncos fan because that's where he was.
Not a single jersey in sight.
I have a Ravens jersey. Well, I used to. I need a new one. It's on my Christmas list. I know my mom will buy it.
I meant the Browns, though. The Browns used to be the Baltimore Colts. Mm-hmm. And the Houston Texans used to be... No, wait. Never mind. Don't worry about me. I'm ranting.
But
we're rambling. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the pod. Be sure to follow me at Galaxy Greg for all of my podcast content, spelled Galaxy Greg underscore. Mr. Space Awaits if you want to follow my life, anything I'm doing personally, or any funny stuff I might post there. Be sure to follow the podcast at Be More Nerdy on all platforms. That includes Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. There we go. And you can find us on any streaming platform. Obviously, you know that if you're listening to this, probably. But remember to like, rate, and subscribe on everything, and share with your friends, man. Let them get on the conversation. Diva.
Diva XOXO. You can follow me on Instagram at the Diva XOXO. So that's TheeDivaXOXO. If you want to see any of my podcast content, my park content, we're actually going to the parks this weekend. I think we're doing Universal. We will see. And I have a lot more food to try at the Food and Wine Festival, so stay tuned.
Ooh, Food and Wine Festival sounds so good.
It is. It's really good. You should come down and do it with us one time.
No, there's one here in Dallas in a month, November 8th. I'm about to do it.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
I missed the Texas State Fair. Okay, I gotta make it up to the city.
Okay.
You went to AGP.
Greg?
Shut up.
Greg's been to the
TGP.
Greg's been to the Food and Wine Festival.
It's good. It's definitely good. I recommend it if you've never been. All right, Heath.
Heath?
Yeah, man, it's your boy HD No TV here. Just follow me on honesty_he.com. .com is not what I meant to say, but that was on my mind. Yeah, that's the subscribe site. We'll get into that another time. But yeah, or find me at HD_N0_TV. That is what I'm going to try and get back into my costume stuff. It's been a while, but I'm trying to get back on top of my crafts that matter to me. So stay tuned.
All right, that being said, we're the Be More Nerdy Podcast. Remember to stay spooky and remember to be more nerds. Peace.